Okay, so in this video, we're going to extend and develop the midpoint formula further into 2 dimensions. It's really quite simple, so come along with me here. We have 2 points floating around in the coordinate plane, and we want to know the exact middle, what point is exactly halfway in between those points. So the first thing we should probably do to just get a little bit better idea of what's going on is connect the 2 points with a line of some kind. And we're looking for the midpoint somewhere right around here. But the question, of course, is where exactly is that point located? It's at question mark, question mark. Or maybe we could call that x midpoint, comma, y midpoint. Little subscript of an m down there. But the method is exactly the same as when we did 1 dimension in the previous video. We're going to average the x values to find the x coordinates, and we're going to average the y values to find the y coordinates. So here we go. 8 plus negative 5 divided by 2. That is going to give us the x value of the midpoint. 8 plus negative 5 is 3. So 3 halves, or 1.5, is our x coordinate. And our y coordinate, just the same. Let's take 1 plus 2, divide them by 2. That is also, coincidentally, 3 halves, 1.5. So the midpoint formula, or the midpoint, is just 1.5, comma 1.5, or maybe you'd prefer to write 3 halves, 3 halves. And if you are going to generalize that, we will drop the grids and do a generic problem. Get all this out of there. And let's get this out of there too. Okay. So say we just had a point right here and a point up here. And we know that somewhere in between those 2 points, there is an exact middle. How do we find that midpoint? Well, we're going to add, we have to label the points first. So let's call this x1, y1, and let's call this x2, y2. They're just because we don't know where they are, so we give them generic names. And then to find the location of the midpoint, we're just going to average the x coordinates, and we're going to average the y coordinates. So technically, the name of this middle point, wherever it is x plus 1, x sub 1 plus x sub 2 over 2, comma, y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2. And that's, maybe hard to look at because there's so many letters and not a lot of numbers, and it kind of just looks like squiggles. So just remember, conceptually, we're just finding the halfway point horizontally and the halfway point vertically.